Welcome back to another Car Thoughts. Well, on this episode of Car Thoughts, we are going to be talking about Nintendo again as we travel from here to there. Nintendo, as I've stated before, Nintendo is not one of my favorite companies. Now, it is true that I have a few Nintendo products. I keep getting hooked by Nintendo, but they are not as family friendly as they like to make themselves look like. I explained in one of my previous videos the Dietery effect, which Nintendo wants you to buy their latest and greatest. And they want you to continue to spend money, and I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is what Nintendo really stands for, and they are, how do I want to word it? Well, I had a idea for an upcoming video, and I think I was going to change this video, or I am going to change this video. The video was going to be, what does Nintendo and the House of Mouse have in common? And that is that they hate their fans. But what I'm going to do is change that into two separate videos, because I can't do the two of them justice, having them in one video for one drive. So I want to focus just strictly on Nintendo. So recently, while scrolling through YouTube, I have come across video after video after video of Nintendo putting out cease and desists on Nintendo fans, showing their love for Nintendo, putting out videos about Nintendo games, and Nintendo sending them, take your video down, because you can't have that content on YouTube, and throwing up copyright claims and telling them removing them, and you can't have this and you can't have that. And it's just Nintendo is just waiting with lawyers that they can't wait to go after little people. You know, that's how they get their kicks. A small person puts out a video and they're just waiting to go after them. And if somebody does a video walkthrough on a game, they just cannot wait. Especially if it's a new game. And I guess it's even worse if it's a no commentary walkthrough. Now, those are my favorite. See, I'm a person that doesn't have a lot of capital, so I love no commentary walkthroughs, because I'll watch a long play of a video game, and it allows me the experience of what a game is like, and saying to myself, well, I see the struggles the player went through, and nah, that game really wasn't for me, or oh my gosh, that looks so fun, I really want that game. or maybe not. I mean, I've saved myself a lot of money that way, or I've spent a lot of money on some games. You know, I wasn't sure with Resident Evil Village, but after watching a playthrough, man, had to get it. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Very scary. But I'll tell you right now, there was a couple long plays of other games where I'm like, ugh. Game sounded cool, but after watching a playthrough, I'm like, no, forget it. In fact, the game was so bad I can't even remember the title of some of the games. But with Nintendo, they don't even want you showing that. Like, for example, some people got early access to Mario and Luigi Brotherhood, and man, they can't even show the demo of the games. They're getting cease and desists on the demos. I mean, sure, I'm sure that they're out there, but as soon as Nintendo gets word that those are out there, or they're getting popularity on the videos, man, they're getting told to take them down. Like, right away. But then, Nintendo is also going after video game tournaments. I don't know if you guys know about this, but yeah, you can't use, like, Smash Brothers in a game tournament held by yourself. If you do, they're like, there's huge rules, like no cash prizes over a certain dollar amount. You cannot have a certain amount of people. You cannot broadcast it live. Excuse me. There is just a ridiculous amount of rules that you cannot do, and by the time you're done, it's like your tournament is like you and a bunch of friends, and that's about it. By the time you're done with Nintendo's rules about a Smash Brothers tournament, because you have to follow their rules, because only Nintendo can hold a Smash Brothers tournament, and Nintendo doesn't like to do tournaments because Nintendo likes to play by its own rules. And see, that's been the thing with Nintendo for goodness, since the 80s. Nintendo plays by its own rules. It doesn't like to listen to anyone. And that has cost the company so much. And they could be like the number one company in the world, except they're not. And that's the big problem with them, is that because they play by their own rules, they think that they're this squeaky clean company and that they have no issues, and yet their stuff is filled with problems. They just, here in the West, we don't really respect them that much because their system is looked at as a kid system. I mean, it really is. If you want an adult system that, like, rated M for mature, you're looking at Sony, you're looking at Microsoft, Xbox, PlayStation. You're not really so much looking at Nintendo. So, I mean, yeah, they might have some, but not so much. And here they're coming out with the Switch 2 just right around the corner, and it's just going to be more of the same. I just don't see Nintendo changing anytime soon. I think that they're just going to be more of this. It's the rich brat saying, hey, this is my rules, this is my stuff, these are my properties, I don't want to share, I don't want you guys to have anything unless I'm okay with it. You play by my rules, and that's kind of it. And they're the ones hoarding all the IPs. And it's only hurting everyone else. They're not doing themselves a favor. And that's going to bring me to my next video. And that's going to be about the Archivist project. Because with Nintendo, they're sitting on thousands of IPs that they will not release to the public. The Switch could have been amazing. Except it's not. The Switch 2 could be amazing. Except it's not going to be. I can already tell you that right now. Because the one thing that they're not gonna do is they're not going to look at their past. Because they want you to forget their past. They don't want you to have access to older games and older titles. Why? It's their rules. You know, they don't want to have you to have access to the thousands of old Nintendo games and the thousands of old Super Nintendo games, or even the thousands of Genesis games that they have on their back catalogs, or even the thousands of Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games. Nope, can't have those because it's their rules. Because they just don't want you to play them. Because they want you to be on a service. If you want to play them, you got to pay for them. But then it's like the carrot and the stick. They're going to dangle that carrot, and they're going to have the stick. But you got to pay to see if maybe, just maybe they might offer it, and then maybe they might remove it. Maybe. And they want it to be a service. See, this is the thing. Nintendo doesn't like its fans. When you're a fan of theirs, they don't care about you because you're just a number. You're a statistic. You're nobody to them. You're just one of many, and if they offend you, oh well, you're easily replaceable because they're not looking at you. They're looking at the potential that next system will get somebody else. The next system will get somebody else. When they're mass producing the Switch 2 already, at least that's what the rumors is, they're already looking at the Switch 3 or whatever the next system is. And that's just how it is. Well, on that depressing note, thank you for riding along with me. Remember that you are appreciated and loved. Thank you for traveling from there to here. And like and subscribe. And leave a comment if you liked this video. Leave a suggestion. And as always, you know, this was Car Thoughts. And I will talk to you later. Bye.